Esther 5:6. At the banquet of wine, the king said to Esther, "What is your petition? It shall be granted you. What is your request? Up to half the kingdom, it shall be done." This is a wine banquet. I guess it's the first banquet. Then Esther answered and said, "My petition and request is this. Dear king, please do this for me, Esther." Not a real petition, but a plead. I think of a petition, written petition, but it's just a plea or a question. "If I have found favor in the sight of the king, if the king likes me, I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it pleases the king to grant my petition and fulfill my request, sure, Esther, I'll do anything you want." At the banquet of wine, the king said to Esther, "What is your petition? It shall be granted you. What is your request? Up to half the kingdom? It shall be done." Then Esther answered and said, My petition and request is this. If I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it pleases the king to grant my petition and fulfill my request." Esther 5:8. Then let the king and Haman come to the banquet, which I will prepare for them. Haman, the king and queen, come to my banquet. Welcome to my banquet. And tomorrow I will do as the king has said. Tell me what you ask for. Okay, tomorrow I will tell you. King Ahasuerus and Queen Esther. Then let the king and Haman come to the banquet which I will prepare for them, and tomorrow I will do as the king has said. Esther 5:9. So Haman went out that day joyful and with a glad heart. Yay! Haman was joyful with a glad heart that day. That day, Haman was joyful with a glad heart. Got favor from the queen. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, Haman sees Mordecai at the king's gate, and that he did not stand. It's Haman, I must stand. Mordecai didn't do this. Mordecai didn't stand for Haman. So I got to check if that's Haman or Haman. So Haman went out that day joyful with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, and that he did not stand, Esther 5:9, or tremble before him. Tremble. Mordecai didn't do this. Maybe like he was scared. Mordecai did not stand nor tremble. He was filled with indignation against Mordecai. Haman is angry at Mordecai for not doing that. Mordecai did not tremble before him. He was filled with indignation against Mordecai. Esther 5:10. Nevertheless, Haman restrained himself. Haman controlled himself and didn't do anything, and went home. And he sent and called for his friends and his wife Zeresh. "My wife Zeresh, friends, come here." Nevertheless, Haman restrained himself and went home. And he sent and called for his friends and his wife Zeresh. Esther 5:11. Then Haman tells his wife Zeresh and his friends. He told them of his great riches. He has a lot of money, the multitude of children. I have so many children, but he's boasting and bragging. Everything in which the king had promoted him. I have been promoted. Haman's promoted. Has a better job. And how he had advanced him above the officials and servants of the king. Haman is above the servants and officials of the king. Then Haman told them of his great riches, the multitude of his children, everything in which the king had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the officials and servants of the king. Esther 5:12. Moreover, Haman said, "Besides, Queen Esther invited no one but me. The invitation is only for Haman. Only I was invited to come in with the king to the banquet that she prepared. Haman, come in to the banquet with the king. Esther and Haman, come to the banquet and eat with us. And tomorrow I am again invited by her along with the king." I am invited, and the king. The king is second. Come again tomorrow, Queen Esther and the king and Haman. Moreover, Haman said, besides Queen Esther invited no one but me to come in with the king to the banquet she prepared, and tomorrow I am again invited by her along with the king. Esther 5:13. Yet all of this avails me nothing. This is all nothing. My riches, my children, my promotion, and my invitation from the queen is nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate. Nothing matters, since Haman sees Mordecai at the king's gate, not standing. Who cares about my greatness because of Mordecai? Yet all this avails nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate. So we'll talk about how Zeresh answers what to do with Mordecai next. Have a good, blessed day.